Hello, guys. Greetings and good morning, afternoon, or evening. As usual, my name is Augustine, and by my time, it's about some minutes past 8, actually to 9. And I'm sorry I'm coming in late. If you can see me, I am more or less casual today. Yeah, a whole lot has been happening lately, and today I'm on a kind of rest. I'm not going out. I'm not going to work today because I have a whole lot of things to attend to, and I also want to rest. It mustn't be every day you go out to work. So, as usual, I've come to give us a summary of yesterday's mass adoption meeting. Yesterday's mass adoption meeting was epic. Yeah, the community is, I'll tell you, honestly speaking, the community as at yesterday was really downcast. There was this blog the administration put up, and when I read the blog, um initially my heart sank into my stomach. That was what happened. But then I had to read it again. I had to read that blog like 4 5 times, and then I started pre will I say deep thinking. I started deep thinking, and then I began to understand the perspective of the administration. In fact, everything the administration talked about yesterday didn't take me by surprise, because when I see his blog, I read it like 4 5 times, a good number of times actually, and then I start meditating upon his words. And it's easy to understand the perspective or get the spirit behind the author when you start meditating upon his words. So that was what I started doing. I started meditating upon his words, and then I understood the heart with which he spoke. And then after that, I started recovering. I will tell you the truth, I was really downcast yesterday. And it's not just me, a good number of us in the community also were downcast, those who are paying attention. But those who are not paying attention, well, I don't know. So that's it. And today I'm just here to give us a summary of yesterday's mass adoption meeting. The first thing I would like us to know is that we are moving forward. That's one thing I want us to know. We are really moving forward, and we are going to succeed on this course. We will succeed. It will take a while, but surely we are going to succeed. I can assure you that. Okay. So quickly I'm going to share my screen, and then when I share my screen, we'll take time to look into what the administration said yesterday. And when the administration began yesterday, well, he began on a lighter note. Well, he started with a music, and just to keep the people kind of entertained, pending when a good number of people came around. Yeah, a good number of people actually came around, and it was very interesting. So yeah, I'm sure that those people came around to hear what the administration had to say. I don't know why they came, but I came to hear him as well. And he spoke, you know as a human being that has tried several options, and it didn't go as planned. He tried a good number of options, and he has learned not to do it in those number of ways. And it reminds me about Edison that created the light bulb. Thomas Edison, Thomas Edison, when he created the light bulb, he had to try out several options, and a good number of those options failed. As an experiment, as a scientist, he wanted to see how he can light up the world. He drew his inspiration from the sun and saw that the sun lights up the whole universe. I mean, the whole earth. Let me not say the whole universe, the whole earth. At least the sun was in so much precision that he began to admire the wisdom behind the human being, sorry, the individual that made the sun. Of course, you know that it was our creator who created the universe, and it's not a human being. He is actually a spirit. So Edison admired that wisdom, and because of that admiration, he started meditating upon that, and then he wanted to create something. He began his experiments, and then go and read about him anyway. The bottom line about it is that went about several experiments. He tried and failed, tried and failed, tried and failed. He got frustrated. Edison went through a whole lot. He got through a lot of frustrations, but at some point he was able to make it. Did it take up to a year? I don't know. How about 6 months? I don't know. How about 3 years? I don't know. But the point was that he kept at what he was doing. He kept at what. Do you think he did not suffer frustrations? Do you think he did not have headaches? Do you think he did not, have sleepless nights? He did, because he wanted to help and impact humanity. Every generation that passes by now hears about Thomas Edison, because he was the first guy that lit up the world, artificially. Now there are several kinds of electric bulbs. There are energy saver electric bulbs, and then there are the ones that generate heat. All of them has their purpose. A whole lot of inventions has taken place. The Wright brothers also, they had the vision that they could fly, and then they started working at it. And then it took them some time, but until they discovered uplifts, the formula for uplift, and then it went into practice and it happened, even if it lifted for a while. So the point I'm actually driving at is that innovations will continue to come in. They will continue to come into the hearts of men, and men will continue to work to see how they can actualize it. For this particular purpose of eradicating poverty on a global scale, it cannot be done by one man, but one man will have that initiative. And that one man will run with the initiative until it is successful. And it is people who buy into that initiative that will run with him. And those people are you and I, that can run with that initiative and succeed. And I do not promise that it's going to be a rosy ride. I do not promise it's going to come on a platter of gold. But with the right mindset, everything is possible. So I am telling you that irrespective of the challenges we're having at the moment, I want you to brace up, encourage yourself, because everything that you are seeing is just a passing phase. It will go by and will move over to a better phase. If you give up at this level, well, you will have yourself to blame. We've come beyond the point where people think that the administration wants to deceive or wants to take advantage of people or just wants to amass wealth to make himself comfortable. No, he has stated his intentions right from the beginning, that he wants to have an economy separate from the present status quo, and we'll have our own medium of exchange that is not dependent on the system. And that's all. Because the intent of the elite is to control. If you are paying attention, CBDCs and digital currencies are coming up, and they want to stifle our coin market cap and every other system out there that wants to compete with them. They want to stifle the free markets, and they want to create a tyranny system across the world. The IMF, the World Banks, and all of them, they don't want freedom for you and I. And the intent of this community was set up to see that we succeed. So are you with me on this? It's your choice. But for myself, I'm sold out. I'm sold out absolutely to this cause, and I will succeed. I know I will succeed. In my universe, I succeeded. I don't know about your universe. In your universe, whether you succeed or not is purely up to you. As the administration do say, he said every limitation is self-imposed. There are things that are beyond your control. And what we are seeing today are mistakes which we'll learn, but it's a passing phase. We would go through it, we would overcome it, we would get better, we'll get more experienced. All right, so we move into the main content of yesterday. The administration came up with this, and sorry, it's like I'll now I'll have to open the blog again, because it's like I kept that on for a while. So the blog is now open. So I scroll down here. A call for leadership. And of course, by now, Bideric is actually recovering. I had a chit chat with him over the weekend, and he let me know he wasn't feeling fine. And I encouraged him. I made him understand that we have him in prayers. So I'm sure every active member in the community is in the know now that the administration, Chief Justice of the Simply Brilliant community is still not feeling fine. And this was the reason why the administration called out that leaders should step up. The reason why leaders should step up is because the two guys anchoring this program as at now are down. That is Kaldasha and Bederick. They are down. And I don't know. They have a whole lot of things they are doing, and they are at the same time managing the community. So the administration cannot afford to see that two of them are down. The administration had to take the move of using his Zoom to host the meeting, and he had to he had to call one of the members of the Privy Council in the person of Brother Innocent Keba, who is the ambassador for Ivory Coast. He was the one who anchored the meeting yesterday. And actually, he did a good job. Will I say a good job? He did an excellent job. So, let's quickly move in. And of course, the challenge that Bederick is going through is not just malaria and typhoid, it's actually stress. Now, in a ratio of 1 to 10, stress has 50%, malaria has 20%, and then typhoid has 30%. Or typhoid has 30%, malaria has 20%. The main thing is stress. Stress was what brought him down fast, because I know the kind of person Bederick is. He is a hustler. And he's been hustling and trying to meet up with the activities in the community. This is why he actually went down. So you are seeing him here. And I want to also let you know that he's getting better, and hopefully by tomorrow he should have fully recovered. And by God's grace, he should be with us in the mass adoption meeting. All things being equal, let's believe God and let's also remember him in prayers as well. So the administration said he has been beaten. He has beaten these things before. We so we so we know prayer works. We need our strong leaders to be healthy, right? The answer is yes. Now, for the past couple of years, I have tried my best to give the community what I thought it wanted. And now I can see after several attempts that's not going to work. That's not going to work. Now, it's like trying to please everyone, and that's impossible. I really wish I had the power to make 100% of people happy. But it's not literally possible to make over 100% of people around you happy. In fact, it's an irony to even make that happen. Because when that happens, then you've actually lost your intent. You've lost your purpose. In life, you must have people that like you and people that don't like you, if you ask me. All right, so I would be very brief today. I'm not going to take so much time. Now, we do have cash flow, and we have been here for several years. There are positive things to keep in mind. But starting an exchange last year with a lack of liquidity turned out to be a bad thing. My intent was good, but the resources the community provided were far too little for that attempt to please all those constantly begging for an exchange at that time. There have been additional setbacks after that too. This weighs heavy on my heart. Of course, I want all restored and to work perfectly. So the administration gave us a highlight of some of these yesterday, which were the amount of coins that he was receiving, and the amount of coins he was paying out. So it's clearly seen here. I want to save as much time as possible because there is quite a lot I want to just summarize on. Now, without the full resources to restore every member, yet having a burning desire to do the most I could do to create enough resources by stimulating growth, we started to pay the builders $5 a day. Now, this is until yesterday. I hope all of you can see I do have good intentions to pay out $5 a day and that I have a willingness to share as much as I can. Maybe my mistake was allowing builders to also cash out as cash centers to others that were not their personal referrals. But clearly, I was giving out too much for it to be sustainable. This simply wasn't enough. There wasn't simply enough buying pressure from members that used their own funds to pay their monthly maintenance of program fees to keep the price of Joy G high enough to justify continuing these $5 payments until the end of the month. So if you ask me, what actually happened was that the bulk of the builders was using what the system was giving them. And each time they do that and the admin swaps, he pays them bounty, and then the rest of the Joy gets stocked up on Pancake Swap, and there wasn't anyone buying it because bulk of the builders were just bringing in new members, and they were using what the system gave to them. This was what totally happened. And at some point, it built to a level, and the price started going down. Because when you begin to accumulate coins in Joy G, the price starts going down. But when you deplete the coins, sorry, when you populate the coins in Pancake Swap, the price starts going down. But when you deflate the coins in Pancake Swap, the price starts going up. So the speedometer of the community as regards Joy G is Pancake Swap. And for now, it's going to remain that way. And the administration saw it on time and was able to make the necessary corrections. Now, as you can see by the image above of a table available to me as the admin, I paid out this amount of coins, which was 26.813 Joy G coins on 24th of June. At this rate, the price of Joy G was quickly heading to zero. I had to stop before the end of the month. That was what the administration said. And this is it. The number of coins that has been paid out so far. And it's actually clear. These things are self-explanatory. So the title is User Payments by the Day. So how many people he's been paying and all that. Now, as you can see by the income table above, we only had 23.87. Now, when you look at 23.87 and compare it to 26.813, you'll find out that it was actually a loss. Now, so from what the admin has said, 23.874 Joy G coins came in on the 24th of June. Where are the extra Joy G to sell to pay the bounty? So if you made a move at that point, clearly we entered negative cash flow. I'm sorry. So it means that the administration is an experienced businessman. He has been in business, he has understood, he has oversight of what's going on in the community. So I feel so bad. I really wanted the $5 payments to work, to motivate the builders to work harder. For a while, this was working. It hurts to say that it just didn't last. Now, the past couple of days, my body has been shaking in the sensation of defeat. But this was as at yesterday. The community encouraged the administration that he's human and that everyone knows. So it's not enough for him to feel that way. And they encouraged him. I, inclusive, also encouraged him. A number of other people made him understand that we are still standing strong with him. Despite the failures, despite the challenges, we are still standing strong. Now, it's so easy to let go and fall into the darkness of despair. Now, this is another setback to add to the list of ever. This is another setback to add to the list of ever. Okay, the list ever since that major setback of the exchange failure. Now, to give up means everyone loses, and the loss is 100% for all. Yeah, that's actually to remind you guys that I have so much in the system. If the system fails now, man, it's called a capital loss. So I can't afford to say that this system fails. And having understanding about that, I keep thriving. I know that I have a lot in the system, and I know that when the system succeed, I succeeded as well. And I don't know how many people have that same mindset, but if you have that same mindset, then you should know that this is a phase. We are going to pass this phase. Okay. All right. So we keep moving. You need to know that in the back of my mind, there is a recurring thought that reminds me that I could make more at a sales job than how I pay myself doing this. I'm the last to get paid, and doing this carries so many headaches. And I do know some of you appreciate someone like me trying to help, but not all members feel that way. Some members think I'm the source of all their problems. So this is hard, very hard. Yeah, there was someone that just reached out to me on WhatsApp this morning and gave me an abusive word to give to the administration. And I looked at it and said, yeah, the administration was right. There are so many people that feel bad, you know, But like I said, it's a phase. So many people think that this will go down. So many people think that when the price goes down, that the administration absconds. Let me tell you what he said after this. Actually, the easiest thing I could do right now is to quit and give up. I could easily make way more money at a simple sales job and let the boss of that company have all the headaches. But why do I have so much inner peace when I think to continue working with this community? This statement is very deep because it's a divine project. Yeah, some of us yesterday, when we were making contributions, said that this is a project set up by God because nothing like this has happened in thousands of years, where an ordinary man will become a billionaire. And not just becoming a billionaire, becoming a world power, having so much influence and affluence to see that everything the elites are doing are brought to a halt. Because where it actually boils down to is who controls the money. If they control the money, then they do as they will. But if we control the money, then we do as we will to cause humanity to live in peace and harmony with one another. And that's what we would achieve. So I don't know if you're going to be part of it, but one thing is sure that it will happen. It's already put there. In the future, it happened. In my universe, it happened. And in my universe, I was part of those that made it happen. What about your universe? Does your universe agree with my universe? Well, that's your choice. Now, the inner peace is my guide in life. Now, some people say trust their gods. I trust my gods. And my gods, my inner peace comes from the fact that I'm doing something that is wonderful. And I know I will succeed. I may not have all the resources, but because I have the will, I will succeed. You know, at every given point in time, I didn't bring myself to this course. It was my creator that brought me to this course. And when he brought me to this course, I had this inner peace in my spirit. And that's why I've been following this course for the past 7 years. And will keep following this course, irrespective of whatever thing that comes up. Because I find peace, I find fulfillment in this course. So many people that are in this course that are falling out, not because they don't have the money, but because they have a twisted mindset. Some people have a mindset of letter S. Some people have different letters mindset, but I have the mindset I. That's the mindset I have. And the mindset I means you are teachable, you are willing to follow instructions, you are willing to change and adjust where necessary. And that's the mindset I have. If you are having a contrary mindset, then you are not likely going to succeed. Those that are going to become the administrator of the pioneers of this system, those that would lead this system will have one mind. Everybody that will lead this system will have one mind. And that is the mind the system is offering, a mind built on the principle of love and respect. Any mind that is in opposition to that, if you are in this organization and the administration pisses you off, if you had your way, you want to take advantage of him, you want to destroy him, because that's the mindset a good number of people are having. If that's the mindset you're having, I'm sorry, you won't get to the top. I'm not cursing you, I'm telling you the truth. Those who will watch this video and then those who are watching it, if that's the mindset you're carrying, take it from me, the universe will not allow you to get there, because everything is built based on, the spirit behind the universe. And you can call it our creator, because this is our creator's goal, to see that humanity lives in love and respect. The person that is pushing it is just the admin, and he's a human being. But the inspiration will come from God, and it will be given to him, like it happened to Thomas Edison, that saw the sun and then he got an inspiration. And a whole lot of other people who invented things. Yeah, there were some people that they looked at and they said that this guy is an idiot, he can't be useful. But today the man made something so wow. A lot of other people, Nikola Tesla and the rest, those guys were not regarded in their time. And somehow they changed the world. You are part of this community. At this point, you may not be regarded, but if you can persevere long enough, the change will come. I don't know if you can persevere, because it's in your mind, it's in the universe you create. It's what you think that you manifest. If you think negative, you get it. You think positive, you get it. If in your mind this project failed, then it has failed, and then you fall off. As you see the community building on the core team, backup team, and every other team, it is the universe bringing those people together. Not that they are the strongest. It is about the mindset. And as long as your mindset is strong, you will begin to see the manifestation by your actions, how you educate and tell people. You want to read and know what's going about this system. What mindset do you have? Let's continue. Now, the inner peace is my guide in life. For me, God wants me to keep on going. I know better than to try to argue with all knowing, almighty. That's our creator, God. The administration was talking about it yesterday and he emphasized on it at length. So I want you to know that even though we've had setbacks, we are still going to continue to thrive. We are going to keep pushing forward. It was that same inner voice that led me to start this community, and that same guide that helped me pull us through our previous challenges, which seemed impossible too. Yeah, I remember when we've had such challenges in the time past. Guys, my body is tired and wants to just move on and do something else, but my spirit won't allow that to happen. In a war between the spirit and the body, it is always best to let the spirit win. So I would say the administration is spiritually informed. Yeah, he's not religious. He has a higher awareness. So he's spiritual, if you allow me to use that word. Now, I will say much of the time my body is just as happy as my spirit to work with this community. I know, I know I have had profound impact on many of you, myself especially. Now, you have been the source of much of my joy in the recent years. Now, you, in this case, the administration is referring to you that is listening to me and you that will listen, because it has been so unconventional that humanity came together from different countries of the world and agreed on one cause in love and respect. That's beautiful. And today, I have had so much, relations with people that I may never have had relations with because I'm a member of this community. Lifting others up feels very good. For some of you, this community has given you hope when hope was hard to find in your life. Yeah, lifting others up is a very good thing. But some of us in the community, when they lift you up, you end up biting the person. Yeah, a good number of people in the community do that. And it should not stop you from lifting people up. Yeah, because human beings can be very wonderful. And those who have done that, a time is coming, and that's very close to this point, where whatever attitude you've been playing now to begin to reflect, and it can actually promote or demote you. So if you have not done it, kudos. If you haven't taken advantage of anyone, kudos. But if you have, well, very soon you would give account. Shortly, for some of you, this community has given you hope when hope was hard to find in your life. The builders have always done well within our community financially. Now, we need to make some changes. We need to make some changes. Pay attention to this. Now, if you are going to continue developing this community, if we are going to continue developing this community, be assured that returning to just bounty income will rebalance the price of Joy G soon enough. 50% of the builder sponsors and 50% to cover costs and obligations will work as it has in the past. So the anomaly will be corrected, but it will take a while to balance out. I don't know how long it will, but the administration has already set it up in balance. And over time, you see the thing correct itself. As long as builders are willing to keep building, as long as members are willing to maintain their spots, this will happen. And it will happen sooner than expected. Okay. Now, our only chance at restoring the losses of these or those affected by the series of setbacks is to continue to build. So, building is paramount. We have to keep building. It's difficult, it's challenging, but it's possible. Now, we need to generate enough income to pay everyone of them back in full. Those who have buybacks, those who have stakings, and all that. We are going to do it somehow. Let's keep reading. Now, we need to address leadership. Leadership needs to be the driving force to grow this community to reach its full potential. Now, emphasis was laid on this yesterday by the administration. And are you a worthy leader? The administration is asking, are you a worthy leader? If you think you are a worthy leader, good. And towards the end of the meeting, the administration gave the Privy Council the opportunity to make contributions. He began with Brother Mechi and then Augustine, and then he also went forward to make a whole lot of other people make contributions. He also presented Mofo, which is the chief member helper, gave him an opportunity to express himself. I feel the administration wanted everybody to have what you call an opportunity to speak their mind. And a good number of people spoke their mind, and it actually showed that the confidence of the people are still strong on this community. But come to think about it, which other opportunity do you have that is as huge as this? Based on active membership, we have strength in English, French, Hindi, and Bangla. Now, what we need is to identify the most trusted leaders in these four languages, and the administration is working on it already. You know, and I think shortly he is going to make us know how that will be done, and people are going to have the opportunity to vote in who it is that they want as a leader to lead them. And that leader that will be selected by the people will be giving accounts, to the people how things are done. So more or less, like, the administration wants to set up co-admins at the level of the English, French, Hindi, and Bangla. Now, then each of those four leaders can each develop 10 leaders below them, and so on. Maybe I was being too ambitious about growing millions of members before kicking off the rotator. Maybe the rotator should start when we have 50,000 active members. And these 50,000 active members can be done in about a month or less than a month, or let's say 2 months maximum, considering the number of people in the community, just by bringing two. I think bringing two and then bringing two, it's okay. Four people can make it happen. Now, the dynamics of how this will play out, the administration will update us over time. So 50,000 active members, and by then, hopefully, all of the people affected by the setbacks are paid off. I'm part of those that has been affected by the setbacks, and I'm going to receive my fundings this year, and I'll receive it in full. How it's going to happen, I don't know, but in my universe, I saw it happen. And then by faith, I say it out. And by my belief, it's going to happen. Because there is power in every spoken word you give. When you speak out, the universe hears you and acts accordingly. Because on this earth, you are a kind of God. You come together with your fellow human beings to make decrees, and those decrees stand, provided a good number of people agrees upon it. That's what the community is about. But instead of the rotator starting with 111,111. Let's start it with 5 people on it. That is the 4 most trusted leaders of English, French, Hindi, and Bangla, and myself being the administration. Then grow it out from there. I sense that leadership will get us where we want to go, where we want. That is where we want to go, better than anything like the $5 a day. So the level we are now is setting up people that will be accountable. The kind of people we are setting up now, I can refer to them as the government in this organization. That's what we're setting up. And there is a whole lot of character that has to deal with those leaders. They must be, number one, humble. And it is the members that knows who those leaders are. They should be people willing to take instructions. They should not be high-minded, because positions can puff up. If you have positions, you can tend to look down on people. I want to believe that those in the community knows who they are. They know who they are, and they would vote rightly. The administration has full oversight over how this will be, because the administration also knows who the people are. And he is going to make sure that as the admin, the right people are selected. A whole lot of things will go on in this process of selecting leaders. And like I said, the administration will have oversight over who those leaders will be. And the people will select the leaders themselves. It will be done very well. It will be done openly. Everybody will see how it's done. In fact, the way the administration has planned it, it's going to be done very well, that you would know there was no kind of manipulation. But like I said, the administration will have oversight over how it's going to be. Because with those leaders, the right leaders, selecting their team, then the government of the organization has started. In the meeting of yesterday, the admin said oppositions will come at some point and that we should get ready for it. Because if we are not ready and we have built to a certain point, that it's going to be difficult if we meet the opposition unprepared. you know all right, so let me round off. Let's remember our purpose. We are building a global private economy so that we are free from economy tyranny. We want to build an economy that is fair for all, and everyone has an equal opportunity to prosper and live an abundant life. So this is what the administration talked about yesterday, and a whole lot of emphasis was on the leaders that will be selected. It's the burden of the community to pick those leaders. I don't know how it's going to be done, but it will be done in a way that will be transparent. Over here in Nigeria, we recently concluded an election, and I can tell you that the election was a whole lot of BS. You know, Permit me to say that a lot is wrong on the present public domain. It is not even an election, it is the illusion of going to vote your leaders. It's actually not true. They have already predetermined who they want to win, and they just appoint the person and manipulate it so that it falls in their favor. In our community, that will not apply. Our community will be so transparent that everything will be done and everyone will give account of how things are done. As a leader, you must make sure that you are up to the task, and you must also have the right team. All this will be defined over time. So this was how the summary of yesterday's mass adoption meeting came. People asked a few questions, and some of them were giving their answers, and questions, a kind of commendation, and then some of those things. And the whole thing was beautiful. Let me use that word. And I think I enjoyed the meeting for that yesterday. So I want to stop at this point and stop sharing my screen. If there is anyone that wants to ask their questions, you can do well to ask your questions. So this is hello, brother. Thanks for the good work. You're very welcome. And then good morning, Ambassador, and the entire SBC community. Let's keep faith. We shall achieve our mission. Now, yesterday I almost fainted after reading the blog. But when I read it second time, I felt what admin is going through. Okay. So a number of people has made so many feedbacks, and I really love this. Greetings and good job. Our able ambassador, admin is the best administrator I have ever seen. Kudos to him. We love him and we will do everything possible to support him till we get this project completed. I love this statement. Thank you very much, brother Gospel Edge. And I really love this brother. In fact, this brother has really been a serious motivation to the Nigerian community. To a failed person, setbacks are opportunity to back off. Now, to a great man, setbacks are ways to make better changes for greater move. Now, this new leadership structure will really create more confidence in the community. All right, so far so good. These are the feedbacks that the people give, and a lot is going to play out in the course of time. Before we close, let me quickly share my screen and then remind the community one more thing, because these informations are going to play out. This is what the administration said, the most recent blog. So when you open the blog, he said, stay active because inactive will not be included. Now, this is something big. Yes, big changes are needed immediately. The active support the existence of our community, and certain benefits coming soon will only go to the active. Also, don't lose your spot on the core team and the backup team. The way forward is becoming clearer. The way forward is becoming clear, which is also clearer. So the admin is actually making us understand that he's making plans to see how things can happen, and we have his support. Okay. All right. So, on that said, I'll be bringing this meeting now to a close. And most likely, I'll be coming your way again on Thursday by the grace of God. Cheers and God bless you. Bye for now.